Long before there were doctors, hospitals, or even supermarkets, there was a powerful form of healing energy that existed in many cultures across the world. Well, today on the show, I have a modern-day medicine man, and his name is Carey Stokes, and he's here to bring those traditions here into the world today. Carey, thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So, what does it mean to be a modern-day medicine man?
Modern-day medicine man is really about basically taking stewardship for the earth, number one, taking responsibility for our own actions, and living in right relationship with the world, with ourselves and with the world.
So now you've also called yourself a shaman as well. What is a shaman?
Actually, I'd never call myself a shaman. Your community kind of calls yourself. I call myself a shamanic practitioner.
Okay.
But at any rate, the shaman is that one who really, they say, has gifts to speak and work with the non-ordinary world of energy and spirit to this ordinary world of form and matter, and to basically dance between those two worlds. What was that, Albert Einstein, M23 squared or whatever it was? They dance on top of the equal sign between these two places.
So many of these traditions and stories have been carried on through generation and generation. How are those relevant today?
They're relevant because they hold a body of prophecy and, more importantly, a body of processy. So they have these ancient ways to help us to shift, to line our world up. You know, again, the shaman works from a place of energy that shifts us at the place of our soul, which then our mind and our body will follow. Because if you try and engage, if you created something in your mind and you're trying to solve it at that place, you have to take it to the next level. And that's that place of the soul. And the soul has its own language, which is music and poetry and, you know, drums and rattles. This is where the shaman, why they journey, go into that altered state of consciousness through chanting and things like this. This is going to that place of the soul. So we shift our soul, we change everything.
Now, I know inside your work, you go to some pretty interesting places.
Yes, we go to Peru every year, to Sacred Valley. We go to Machu Picchu is one of the places. Every day we sit in ancient rites, doing ancient sites and doing rites and ceremony in the traditional way through the Q'ero nation, which the Q'ero were what they speak about as the last of the Inca. The last of the true Inca. They were the ones who escaped the conquistadors in the 1500s, went up to the high mountains, up to 16, 17, 18,000 feet, and their medicine stayed, you know, these processes and prophecies stayed really strong. And also we work with Northern Americans like the Lakota, and we take people on journeys there, and we go through the traditional songs and ceremonies that they do. And this is what's kept them alive as a people. And it's very profound. It's really the person's individual experience. But I promise you, anybody who comes on our trips, they have major transformations. I've had people have major healings. The last trip we went to Peru, the woman had a big tumor. And I'm not saying I'm responsible for this, it's spirit's responsible. But she went back and it was gone. Wow. And that's how powerful I believe energy and spirit is, and that we can manifest good things in our life and not, you know, this disease in our life.
So if someone is watching and you feel this calling, like I think with this type of work, you just know that it's for you. How do they get started? I mean, what's that process to learn more about this medicine, this energy work?
Well, we have a business called Medicine Way University, or I should say a company or whatever you want to call it, an entity, a container. And it helps people to go on that journey, to take their own personal journey through these body of processes. And we also teach several different things for them to receive rites of initiation, to make a shift at that energetic, which then again can shift their soul, which change their whole being, their whole life. So the shamans speak about dreaming our world into being. Mm-hmm. So why wait till tomorrow? Let's do that today.
And do you have to be a certain age or a certain phase in your life to go through this process?
No, not at all. We had people, last trip I had a young boys like 18. I've taught programs for kids over there too. We teach them as well from 7 years old to 17. And we're starting to work more with children actually. We're adding programs on there, whether they're trips, journeys, or local things in our community. And you can be any age. So I had a woman, she was, I think, 78, and her dream was to go to Machu Picchu, and she fulfilled that dream. And it was, you know, beautiful to watch and see her sit in that place. And it was something that called to her soul, she said, her whole life. That she didn't know why, but she had to be there, and she achieved that. So it's really made a lot of transformation for her.
You know, and what's possible really, Carey? I mean, when we get into this energy and we're in a natural space, I mean, so many of us in the world today can't even remember the last time we were in nature. So we get in this beautiful natural space like in Peru or in, you know, the West. What's possible for us?
Everything's possible. Everything's possible to release, and that's part of the work, is sometimes we have to break free of those limiting beliefs, break free of energetic binds. Sometimes there's genetic and karmic coding that we're still tied into, and through these processes you break free of that. You cut free of that. You break free. You walk in the world fearlessly. You embrace. You let go of old stories. You soul retrieval work, recovering essential parts of our soul that can help us step into our destiny and bring our gifts into the world, and then dreaming our world into being. So we have to be really clean. And if nothing else, if you just journey for your own personal journey, it's just a beautiful process that you can really just stand and really embrace life and realize there is life after life, and we don't walk alone. We're always, Spirit's always around us.
Carey Stokes, thanks for being here with us and sharing your wisdom and your inspiration.
Thank you. It's an honor.
you.
Thank you so much, really.